Hey guys, it's Marissa. Just a little disclaimer before we get into the video. I have not watched his video yet on how all of the different shades look like, so before anyone comments like get a sneak peek at his palette or anything like that, like no, this is just my idea of what the shades would look like, because I saw like the palette cover and it's like very purple, so I wanted to do something a little bit like, you know, purple inspired makeup tutorial from the new palette coming out. Really hope you guys enjoyed the way this looked and how it turned out, and if you're interested in how I did this look, then just keep on watching. So the first step that I'm doing is prepping my eyes with a base. So the product that I'm using is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. It's in the shade Fairest, and I'm just applying that with my finger onto my eyelid. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to be using the Morphe M321 brush, and I'm going to be dipping into the shade Controversy from the Mini Controversy palette. I'm going to be applying that into and above my crease and just buffing it out afterwards with a lighter purple shade. So the lighter purple shade that I'm using doesn't have a name. It's called the Almar Sales Company eyeshadow palette. It's kind of like one of those cheaper palettes that I got from like, I don't remember where, it might have been from like Five Below or something, but I'm just really just using that lightly on top of that darker purple shade just to kind of give it a little bit more dimension and just to buff it out and give it like that lighter color like how I said before. And the brush that I'm using to buff this out is just an Ulta round brush. I'm also just like kind of flicking it out and just making like an upwards motion towards like the outer corners of my eyes, just so whenever I add a little bit more dimension and just more color to it, it kind of makes a more like dramatic effect to my wings when I add it on later. And I know this is kind of weird to use for this kind of tutorial, but I am going to be using the James Charles palette in the shade Escape. And I'll also be adding the shade Artistry to my eyelid. I'll also be using the shade Wifey from the Milani Gilded Rouge eyeshadow palette. And I'll be applying this with the Morphe M167 brush. Then I'm just going to be taking just a matte black shade, and I'm just going to be applying that with the Morphe M321 brush again. I'm just going to be applying that and just kind of making like an outline for the wing that I'll be drawing on. And I'm really just focusing on just trying to blend in that black with the rest of the purple shades. The eyeliner that I'm going to be using is actually going to be the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. It's like the waterproof liner, and I'm just going to be applying that to the outer corners of my eyes. I'm not going to go on my waterline or anything like that. I'm just going to be drawing the wing, and then afterwards I'm just going to be using that same matte black shade and just really blending it in with that eyeshadow, just so there's a little bit more dimension to it and it just fades out a little bit smoother. Then I'm just cleaning up any kind of fallout I have underneath my eye and just cleaning up that wing a lot with the Clinique makeup remover wipes. And so that's what I'm just doing there and just making it look as clean, as sharp as possible. To prep my face, I'm going to be using the Pure Lip Mist Illuminating Spray, and I'm just going to be applying that on my face and just rubbing it in. And then to prime my face, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Putty Primer and just rubbing that in all over my face also. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I usually skip foundation just because of how sensitive my skin is. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Concealer, the Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. I'm just going to be applying that, you know, just in my problem areas or any kind of dark spots or redness that I just want to get rid of. And I'm going to be blending this all in using the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. And then I'm going to be using that Pro Conceal, the LA Girls Pro Concealer again. I'm just going to be applying that under my eyes and the bridge of my nose and underneath my chin, and just kind of like highlighting like the highest points of my face almost, but just making it a little bit more lighter than the rest so it just doesn't look like one solid color, you know. So that's what I'm doing there. And then afterwards, I'm going to be setting this all with the Airspun Loose Face Powder in the shade Naturally Neutral. To bronze and contour my face, I'm going to be using the Butter Bronzer in the shade 6676, and I'm just going to be applying that with the Ulta Blush Brush. I'm just going to be applying that to, you know, like just the contour areas, just like the temples, my cheekbones, and like the bridge of my nose and everything. To warm up my face a bit, I'm going to be using the Tarte blush in the shade Peaceful, and I'm going to be applying that with my Ulta blush brush. Then I'm just going to set my face using the Morphe setting mist, and then afterwards I'm just going to blend everything in again, just making sure that everything's just really blended into the skin and just completely evened out. Then I'm just filling in my brows using like a brown eyeshadow. It really doesn't matter like what specifically I use. Like I go between different eyeshadow palettes all the time just to fill in my brows, so I really don't like base it off of anything specific, just whatever I have lying around with me whenever I'm doing my makeup. So I'm just using the brown shade from the James Charles palette because of the purple shades that I was using. And the shades that I was using in this video was the shades Tea and Benny. And I'm just applying that with an e.l.f. angled brush. Then I'm taking that same Controversy shade and just applying that to my lower lash line using an e.l.f. Precision brush and just kind of just smoking it out a little bit underneath my lower lash line. For my inner corner and brow bone highlight, I also will be using my Boyfriend's Purse from the Mini Controversy palette also. To highlight my face, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood Loose Highlighter. I'm just going to be applying that to the highest points of my face, including just like my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, and just like inner tear duct corners and like my chin and stuff. And just basically just applying that almost everywhere. I'm like obsessed with highlighters. And then applying it almost everywhere. Afterwards, I'm just going to blend it all in again using that Miracle Complexion Sponge by Real Techniques just to make sure everything's completely evenly blended again. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Clinique High Impact Mascara, and I'm going to be applying that to my upper and lower lashes. And I'm also going to be applying falsies, so the brand that I'm going to be using is Kiss, and they are the True Volume Pumped Up Effect falsies. I'm going to be applying this with the Duo Lash Glue. For lips, I'm going to be using the Maybelline brand matte lipstick in the shade 825, which is called Blackest Berry. And then to top it all off, I'm going to be using a Smashbox lip gloss in the shade Lilac Light. And I'm just going to be applying that on top and just kind of blending everything out with that. I'm going to go back in with that one eyeshadow palette again and use that light purple shimmery glitter. And I'm just going to be applying that to the lid of my eye and also my lips just to add a more dramatic effect. And that is the completed makeup tutorial. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Again, this just is for fun. So I haven't seen any of the shades in the palette yet. This is literally just my version of what it would look like. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.